Pin Jia is a company that has made many Plants vs. Zombies plush sets, and today we're going to be looking at the second ever one that they made. So with that said, welcome to a look at the Pin Jia Set 2 Plants vs. Zombies plush set. Let's start off with the first plush in the set, which is the Peashooter. Now this plush's leaf base is actually a little weirdly shaped because, well, they don't really look as much as leaves. Because, well, they seem to just be kind of like circles, which isn't accurate to how a leaf base is supposed to look. But yeah, the stem is very well stuffed to make the plush hold up well over the years, so the neck doesn't get all floppy, so the head doesn't all, get destroyed. And well, one bad thing about this plush is that it's all the exact same color, being a dark green color instead of having a light green color on the head like it's supposed to. It's also missing the ring around the neck. But yeah, it has a leaf on the back of it, which is made out of a pretty good plush material, and the embroidery on the face is pretty good. And well, the plush itself is pretty much okay. It's not the best Peashooter plush by far, but it's definitely not the worst either. It's overall just a very simplistic Peashooter plush, and well, there could have been a lot more effort put into it. And even though it's missing a few details, it's still a pretty okay plush. And well, this plush is extremely rare and barely has any documented on it, so if you do want, you can either find it on eBay or Zanu, but it'll be extremely hard to find. And now let's go on to the next plush in the set, which is the Sunflower. Now this plush's leaf base is actually slightly different than the Peashooter's. I don't know if it's just bad quality control because all these leaf bases just look slightly different on every plush. And well, even though the leaf base is still different, it still doesn't really look accurate to how it's supposed to look, but it looks slightly more accurate. Just like the Peashooter, it has a very well stuffed stem so the neck doesn't get all destroyed. And well, the sunflower head itself looks overall pretty weird in my opinion. The back of it is the exact same color as the face, which isn't accurate to how it's supposed to be, as it's supposed to be a green color on the back of it. Also, all the petals could get easily bent and damaged because they're made out of a very delicate material that could get easily damaged and collect debris. And well, on the face, the embroidery just really doesn't look that accurate at all to how a sunflower is supposed to look. And in my opinion, there's just a lot better sunflower plushes than this one, especially because, well, the face is for some reason also staring up for some reason. Even though it's supposed to be staring straight, so I don't know why they did that. But yeah, overall, the sunflower's face just kind of ruins this whole plush, but yeah, if you still want it, you can find it on eBay or Zanu, but it's extremely rare. Now let's move on to the next plush in the set, which is the Cherry Bomb. Now this Cherry Bomb plush is actually pretty good. The only really bad thing about it though is that it has some really weird teeth. And I really don't like that the teeth are round instead of just being like normal squares, so yeah, I don't know why they did that. And it's also made out of a felt material instead of being stitched on, so yeah, it could get easily damaged there. But yeah, the eyes on this plush are actually accurate, unlike Linkson's, so yeah, this plush is actually better than Linkson's in my opinion, because well, it has more accuracies to it. And overall, just uses a lot better details, and for some reason the leaf on the top of it though is a lime green, which isn't accurate, but it still looks pretty nice. The stem is also very skinny, but it does hold up pretty well over the years, and yeah, this plush is actually pretty good in my opinion. The only really bad thing about this plush though is that the buck teeth are really weird and they are just get bent and damaged really easily because of the felt material on them. But yeah, this plush is extremely rare though and barely has any documented images or owners of it, so yeah, this plush is extremely rare, but you can find it on eBay or Zanu. And then let's move on to the next plush instead, which is the Snow Pea. Now this plush, I don't really have much to say about it because, well, it's literally an exact copy of the Peashooter. And I mean an exact copy, there's literally no differences about it besides the color of it. Like, even the leaf bases on these plushes just all look the same with the embroidery as well. And honestly, this plush just really isn't that good. I do like that it's a light blue color instead of a dark blue color, so yeah, that is one good thing about this plush. But yeah, this was by far the laziest plush in the whole set because they just took the Peashooter pattern and made it blue instead of dark green. But yeah, there's not much to really say about this plush, but if you want, you can find it on eBay or Zanu. And now let's move on to the next plush instead, which is the Chomper. Now I actually really like this Chomper plush, and I'm really glad that it doesn't have eyes like the Linkson version because, well, it makes this plush actually look a lot better. The leaf base on it actually looks slightly more accurate than the others because, well, it actually has 4 leaves on it. It also look more leaf shaped than the others. The stem on it though is very skinny, so it could get damaged pretty easily, but yeah, it still holds up pretty well surprisingly. Also, it has spikes on its head which are made out of a felt material, so yeah, that could get damaged very easily. And well, same thing with the teeth because, well, they're really small, so it could get easily bent and damaged and collect debris, which is obviously a bad thing about this plush. And well, the inside of the mouth seems to be made out of a pretty good material that doesn't seem to get damaged that easily. But yeah, this plush is extremely rare though, and it only has one documented owner of it that got it on eBay, so yeah, this plush is extremely rare, and I have basically only seen one listing of it. But the best places to look for this plush is either eBay or Zanu. Now moving on from the day plants, we have the next plush in the set, which is the Sunroom. Now overall, the Sunroom plush actually looks pretty good, except for the embroidery on the face. And I think they could have made the facial expression just a bit better, but besides that, this plush is actually really good. The head is overall very nicely shaped and it has the accurate dots on it, which makes it look overall really good. But the head shape is overall pretty nice, and it seems to have something like on the bottom of the head, maybe like a piece of cardboard to make it stand up a bit better, because well, but in the images that I could find of it, it overall looks pretty flat, holds up pretty well. But yeah, the bad thing about this plush is that the face on it just looks really weird, and overall it could have been better if they made it with a different expression. But yeah, just like the Chomper, is at a similar rarity because well, there's only ever been one listing of it and only one person owns it. But yeah, our best bet of finding it is either on eBay or Zanyu. And now let's move on to the next plush on this day, which is the Starfruit. Now the Starfruit plush actually looks pretty good, especially compared to other ones like the bootleg one and the Links in 2 one. The eyes overall look pretty good, and I can't really tell which material they're made out of, so yeah, they could get damaged easily, but I can't really tell the material on them because we have very little pictures of it. But well, the tooth is made out of a felt material, so yeah, that could get easily bent and damaged. And well, the overall shape of the star overall looks really accurate, and the stem on the top of it also holds up pretty well over the years from what I could see, and yeah, it seems to be made out of a pretty nice material. And well, the best part about this push is that on the edges of the star, you can see that, well, it actually has some nicely detailed on it. It seems like they actually put a lot more work into this Starfruit plush than other companies did that made Starfruit plushes. Because well, they added these little lines at the end of them to make it look more detailed and more look like 3D. Which is overall a really nice detail for them to add. I'm really glad that they did it because well, it makes their Starfruit plushes overall more unique to others. And well, this is by far the most detailed Starfruit plush that was ever made by any company. But yeah, this plush is extremely rare though, and I don't even think there's a documented owner of it. But yeah, you could either find it on eBay or Zanyu, but it's extremely rare and you have a very low chance of finding it. Now moving on to the zombies, we have the first design of the basic zombie. Now the face on this zombie actually has a lot of details just stitched onto it. And well, all the details on the face just seem to be kind of cramped together, and the mouth overall just looks really weird in my opinion. Especially because it takes up the majority of the face, and well, it seems to be just kind of like a black void. And I think it would have been better if they added a few more teeth to the zombie's mouth and made it a bit smaller so it doesn't take up like the entirety of the face. But yeah, besides that, I think the zombie's face is actually really good. I like that it has details like the hair coming out of the head because, well, that's not many other zombie plushes made by any other companies. And well, the tie overall looks pretty good. It is made out of a felt material, so it could get bent and damaged, but besides that, it overall looks really nice. And well, the rest of the clothes on this plush are made out of a very nice material, and they hold up pretty well over the years, except they could get them unstitched from this plush because, well, the majority of the time you see this plush, it actually does come unstitched. And it seems they did a really bad job keeping the coats on these plushes because, well, a lot of the times you'll see them missing the coats, which is obviously not a good thing about this plush because, well, you wouldn't want this plush missing a very good detail of it. And well, the second design is this version that is slightly smaller and is also in a sitting down position instead of standing up. And well, I'd say that they actually made a few improvements on this one. Basically, the only thing that they changed is the face and the position that it's in, but overall looks pretty good. I do like that they made the mouth a bit smaller and they made the other details on the face a bit bigger so it takes up more space instead of just having the mouth take up like half the face. And well, basically everything on this plush, including the clothes and everything like that, are the exact same as they were on the original. The only thing that's different is that the legs are in a sitting position instead of a standing up position, but yeah, that's really the only difference about them. And well, the second design is far more common than this first design, but yeah, they're both extremely rare designs, and yeah, you have a very low chance of finding them. And now let's move on to the next question to say, which is the dancing zombie. Now the face on the dancing zombie is pretty weirdly shaped because, well, the cheeks are just kind of a lot smaller than they're actually supposed to be. But besides the face being weirdly shaped, it resembles a Lynx zombie a lot more than the others in the set do, like the original basic zombie. And it seems instead of making a unique face like the basic zombie, they just kind of stole Lynx's design. But yeah, the mouth overall looks pretty good. The only really weird thing about it is that for some reason the outline of the mouth is embroidered on with a brown material instead of a gray material, which is overall a pretty weird thing to do. But yeah, the hair on this plush could get damaged because it's made out of this very fuzzy material, and well, over the years it could get unfuzzy and also collect debris and dust. But yeah, besides that, the rest of the plush is actually pretty good because, well, the clothes could fall off because they're only stitched on, but yeah, that doesn't happen too often with this plush, and overall looks pretty good. You know, this plush basically has all the details on it to make it accurate on the design it was based off of. But yeah, this plush is extremely rare though and only has one documented owner of it, so yeah, if you do want this plush, you could look for eBay or Zanyu, but yeah, it is extremely rare and probably won't show up. And now let's move on to the next plush in this set, which is the Jack-in-the-Box zombie. Now, the first design is far more rare than the second design, and yeah, the first design really doesn't have that many differences from the second design, actually. The only really difference is that the face is just slightly longer, and the plush itself is just slightly bigger than the second design. And well, besides that, all these plushes are basically the exact same. But yeah, the faces on them are pretty nicely embroidered on, they look pretty accurate to how they're actually supposed to look in the game. You know, but I do really like the hair sticking out of the head because there's a pretty nice detail that isn't on many other zombie plushes. You know, but I am glad they made the inside of the mouth a red instead of a black because it adds more detail to it and makes it stand out a little more. The white clothes could get unstitched and get damaged pretty easily, but yeah, besides that, this plush is actually really good, and I like the box that it's holding. And the box has all the correct details on it, and overall looks really nice. And it's one of the only Jack-in-the-Box zombies ever made because well, only 2 companies ever made Jack-in-the-Box zombies. But yeah, both versions of this plush are extremely rare, but the second design is just slightly more common. But yeah, this plush is basically extremely rare in both variants, and if you want, you can find it on eBay or Zany, but it's extremely rare and hard to find. And now moving on to the final plush in this whole set, we have the blue coat zombie. Now this plush is just really strange because well, we don't really know what it's based off of. Because well, this plush has a blue coat and has some pink shorts that has some designs on it. So yeah, this plush really doesn't have anything that is based off of. So yeah, it's overall just a pretty strange plush. But yeah, the face is basically the exact same as the dancing zombie, but without the hair, and it basically has all the exact same problems, like the mouth being embroidered brown instead of gray. And well, instead of having a felt tie like the basic zombie, it actually has an iron-on tie that is blue instead of red, which is overall a pretty unique detail that basically no other zombie has. And what the coat it's wearing does look pretty good, and it's overall made out of a pretty high quality material, except that the stitching on it just really wasn't that good. Because just like basically every zombie in this set, the coat could get unstitched over the years. It seems like they had some pretty bad stitching on this plush from what I could tell. And with the pink shorts on it could also get unstitched over the years, and they actually look really unique. That's basically on no other zombie plush. As they have some pretty weird designs on them, but I actually really like it because it makes this zombie plush a lot more unique than it would have been. But yeah, this by far has to be the most unique zombie plush in this whole set because well, we just don't really know what it's based off of, and it overall looks pretty cool in my opinion. This probably has to be my favorite plush in this whole set, but it is also one of the rarest in the whole set because it has 0 documented owners. If you want this plush, you can either find it on eBay or Zany, but you basically have no chance of finding it because of how rare it is. But yeah, which plush in this set is your favorite? Mine's probably the blue coat zombie, but comment down below yours, and yeah, have a great day.